right, good afternoon, everyone. This is the fourth day of the Singapore FinTech Festival. And we're very, very happy to have the CEO and founder of Autumn, Mike Kruger, with us in the studio here today. Mike's passion is about improving, people's kind of quality of life using technology. And he has been on this journey for a long time, I think, and he's done it across, is a venture within Standard Chartered kind of ventures. And basically, it's to help people reimagine, what there are two people got, right? So
if you that lifestyle to the long of your retirement span, and incorporate health. So way where for us recommendations we give. So higher market, solution.
How much money do you, what you might need then? That might make it sound, might get to the essence of what Autumn is about.
Sure. So one way you can think of Autumn is it's like the Google Maps of different services.
Most of us are aiming for.
In that holiday planning, like going to really or adventure, so helping so you think they're partway through the have and how much do I need is a really useful aspect of what we provide. Just a
route to your end destinations.
Then provide different paths that could take you from A to B depending upon what's important in your life.
Okay, that's very interesting. So you've been, Autumn has been around for a little while. In your journey in Autumn, hasn't been anything within Autumn that has been Autumn context?
Yes. So I think the most surprising thing is that when we started out, we initially targeted our marketing at the 40 to 50 motivated to get you're earning more than you ever have before, to earn their own. You're having uncomfortable conversations with we thought this group would be really strongly motivated to get their plans in place and they would be an ideal initial target. People these days really want to get coming up and they have the skills necessary to make the right decision, and they need the tools to actually turn that decision into action. So young people are financial online tools for traditionally people would go for trusted information, at least in Singapore. So there's this kind of two things going on. There's this rise in digital tools and people there's a cultural shift.
Okay, so allows that important to the younger is predominantly what Autumn is all about.
Yes, that's definitely one way of looking at it. Financial planning, improving the literacy of planning and their relation, things like this. So those decisions into
to start doing all longer for them. Of starting any of the stuff because
some people just not wanting to start thinking about planning.
Right.
And as you open with, like roughly 1 in 2 by the age of 45 have yet to make any plans and feel like they're completely unprepared. And a lot of things like this.
Because they have a longer horizon.
Yes.
So they actually have no fear.
Get a cliff, work to it. People are thinking about retiring more, spreading it out over the years and do like a mini retirement in their 30s and a mini retirement in their 40s and then their 50s and keep working actually higher. What will you do from having the financial plans in place, for having the emotional certainty, the peace of mind that everything is on track and that.
No question. We have time for one final question. First, before planning for emphasis now on people from a health perspective, right? It's growing in definitely 3-4 times inflation. Where do you see, and how important do you see this planning within the whole?
Cost of healthcare is increasing, and it's outstripping wage growth and inflation. Cost of living also going. Or thirdly, and this is health costs, nutrition, making sure your sleep is in a good place, not drinking so much, these sorts of things. They're very simple, but they can have a huge impact on the likelihood, the risk of developing chronic disease in the future. So this is one of the reasons why Autumn is holistic, because if you can take the health considerations into account and help people make healthier decisions around their quality of life.
Kind of interactive with customers and figuring out that the younger people probably use a platform like Autumn a lot more. Where do you see your next kind of provide the right kind of,
The wealth management end, because coming from the bank, being born from the bank, this is where a lot of our expertise started. So a lot of the functionality is in the applicant functionality in that, but following the kind of, this is why we're following this on where they might be over kind of the two big chunks that they're going to be following early next year.
Okay. So I guess the last bit is quite topical now and has been for a while. And I'm telling you how customers feel kind of, this information is going to be sacred and it's going to be, looked after properly and it's not going to be.
The ethos of Autumn is that we are customer centric. So the data we collect from our customers belongs to the customer. It is their data. And we hold it securely and privately on their behalf. And we use it on their behalf and only on their behalf. This is the purposeful A group. Our genesis means that we have bank grade data, privacy and security controls built in, like right from day one. So our customers are robust and reliable. And thirdly, the third point is, whilst we are part of Standard Chartered Ventures, we are separate to the bank. So we have different systems. Any of the data that the customers share with us does not get shared on with the bank unless the customer requests that we do so.
Okay.
So we hold it securely, we hold it privately on behalf of the customer for the customer.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we're probably at the end of kind of more the conversation we're having. I'm just going to open it up for any Q&As that might. All right, there is one. How do you manage health costs when you're retired?
Never too late to live a healthier lifestyle.
Right.
You don't have insurance in place.
Yes.
Some of these options may not be possible.
Right.
Thirdly, that's a
I basically, from life experiences, have always been overinsured from a health perspective.
Yes.
Only because my family has had COVID, which is difficult to pay for it when you're older because your income is lower at that point in time, or
Yes.
for most of us it is. So one of the reasons not to be more made well known for when they're older,
Yes.
And to insure themselves earlier maybe, and whether or not there's an opportunity eventually for Autumn to work with the insurance partners to co-create a product that might look a bit different,
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely opportunity. It allows us to have a much more holistic view of the customer than any single insurance company or bank, for example. So because we have a much better risk this customer presents, particularly regarding like health in this case.
Yeah.
So I could imagine in the not too distant future working with otherwise uninsurable or where the premiums is just too expensive. But because we have a more precise understanding of the customer, that is affordable for them and does provide the coverage they need.
So I guess, is it fair to say then, in this whole journey to plan, the more information are that can be made available to you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the old garbage in, garbage out definitely applies. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess there's one thing around, the last thing I want to touch on was, how have you seen the interaction with Autumn?
I think the main impact when it comes to planning for life with COVID is that there's a huge amount of uncertainty and fear. There's fear about your health, about what's happening with their life that they can control. And whether this means staying in a job which you perhaps are not enjoying or would rather leave, but you stay in it because this is something you can control, let's reduce the uncertainty. Or whether it means becoming more polarized in political views, which we've seen in other countries. People are looking to really reduce that uncertainty. Part of one way to reduce that uncertainty is to have your plans in place. Your mind, to have peace of mind that this path is what I need to follow and I am on track. Yeah.
So what would your tips be for someone to start this? There is quite a big kind of, quite a lot of inertia, which is why so few of us have done it. I mean, there should be a lot of us doing it more, I think.
Yes.
So what would your advice be, how do you, to get someone to start it?
Sure.
To start.
The starting point is maybe lacking some time thinking of and look at what is valuable in life, and then consider of all of the energy that you spend throughout your life and the money that you spend, are you spending on the things that are going to bring you joy? And are you investing time and money such that you'll be able to find this joy in future? Yeah. So whether that's investing in your relationships or making sure you're investing in your health, it's really, you'll find they get caught up in trying to find setting aside savings, getting started on the investment journey. They don't have enough money because they spend so much trying to keep up with their peers. Or is it something that's short? First of all is knowledge. Secondly is think about the values. What is important to you? Where do you find joy? What's important? And then thirdly, put together a checklist of these are the things I need to do, prioritize them, and whether that's setting up a rainy day fund, paying off debts, get started with investing.
Going into the third bit of what the checklist might look like, then Autumn will give me kind of an easy way to actually get that checklist into
Absolutely.
reality, I guess.
Yes, that's right. So what we're looking to do is provide that, first of all, the financial literacy to help people with the knowledge, and you're planning how you do that. And here's how you exit space. And we'll be able to do more in that and help customers make that happen much more seamlessly. But you have to wait until February.
Where'd they go?
So autumn.sg. Yep, autumn.sg.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.